soul is lost today, and you're so far away. My soul is lost today, and you're so far away. My soul is lost today, and you're so far away. My soul is lost today, and you're so far away.
Good afternoon, everyone. In my language, I would say molweni, that is hello in Sixhosa. But because this is an Africa-wide event, allow me to say karibu, which is welcome in Swahili. I am so excited to welcome you all today for the first Google UNWTO Tourism Acceleration Program. This is the first of its kind, and it's true to say that all great things start in the motherland. As we all know, the COVID-19 global pandemic is having adverse effects on the travel and tourism sector. And for all of you, accelerating economic recovery in this sector is top of mind. Today, we will be hearing from Google and UNWTO on the power of digital transformation in accelerating economic recovery in the travel and tourism sector in an innovative and creative way. But before we get into the meat of the agenda, we have a few housekeeping notes. First things first is that, as you all know, this program is split into two sessions. For the first session, we will be on this YouTube live stream, where we'll be hearing from Google and UNWTO on how to recover confidence in the travel and tourism sector through digital transformation. The second part of the agenda will be country insight sections. This is the meat of today. In these sessions, you'll be hearing from UNWTO and Google experts on how to use data insights to recover the tourism sector in a creative manner. And we will also be playing a game just to test if you're actually listening to the speeches. So that is what we have for today. Now, I would like to hand over to Doron, who will give his opening remarks.
Good afternoon. My name is Doron Avni, and I'm Google's Director of Government Affairs and Public Policy for Emerging Markets, which spans across Africa, the Middle East, Russia, and Latin America. This is an exciting region, home for 30% of the world's population, where hundreds of millions of new users are coming online every year. Digital is transforming people's lives across the region. This opens up endless opportunities for growth and a sense of optimism despite the COVID crisis. On behalf of Google and the UNWTO, I would like to welcome all of you to this first of its kind tourism acceleration program. This is a momentous occasion to support the recovery of the tourism industry among the hardest hit due to COVID. We could not be more honored to have all of you with us today. At Google, we have been working extensively over the last few months to find ways to be more helpful to governments, businesses, and communities in the fight against COVID-19. We've partnered with governments across Africa to provide quality health information to citizens through our products and are working with NGOs to scale crisis relief work. It is without doubt that the world is still grappling with this pandemic. The tourism and travel industry is clearly one of the hardest hit. However, we are starting to see a global shift focused on economic recovery initiatives, and travel is slowly but surely picking pace. We see a gradual rise in the domestic travel, according to a recent report from the International Air Transport Association. On the right-hand side of this slide, you can see how trending questions on our search engine correlate with this rise in domestic travel. As you know, travel and tourism is the backbone of many economies around the world. According to UNWTO data, globally, 1 in 10 jobs is directly or indirectly dependent on tourism. Tourism represents 9% of Africa's global trade. And the tourism industry drives inclusive growth. Globally, women make 54% of the tourism industry workforce, while in Africa, they represent 69% of the workforce. This is the highest share among the world's regions. While travel and tourism is slowly picking up in some parts of Africa, there is still a long road ahead in restoring confidence for travelers and at the same time helping businesses in the sector stay afloat. This is the time for preparedness and innovation, as we expect more travelers to start their journey online. On YouTube, we have seen 60% increase in searches for sightseeing tours and 22% increase in searches for holiday inspiration. It is for this reason we believe that the travel and tourism industry needs to capitalize on digitization, data, and insights to restore confidence and emerge stronger from this crisis. At Google, we want to help travel and tourism industry to recover from the crisis through digital transformation. And our approach relies on 5 pillars. First, data and insights, which is key to tourism recovery and digital marketing. Our teams are using internal tools to provide real-time insights on flight and hotel search, for instance. I warmly encourage you all to attend the breakout sessions today to get relevant insights for your market. Second, creative solutions. Our teams are working with many of yours to make national heritage available online, like the People of Kenya cultural exhibit, a Taste of Nigeria food immersion, and virtual tours to Robben Island in South Africa. This would increase global curiosity into wonders of Africa, culture, and history. Third, digital education for SMBs and tourism officials, like the workshop we're holding today. Fourth, product-based solutions, whereby Google products such as Maps and YouTube are leveraged by tourism SMBs in creative ways. Fifth, last but not least, digital marketing solutions for DMOs to reach more travelers online. We're facing unprecedented crisis that calls for a strong partnership across government, private sector, and nonprofits. We've been encouraged to see the governments engaged and eager to cooperate. We've seen the power of what going online means for small businesses, and I would like to share Tamendri's story with you all.
I bought this home 20 years ago. It was a broken down house, really dilapidated. Being a single mom, it was a sacrifice that I had to make. And making the most of the little that I had to be able to have this house. I found a wonderful man. We married, and he's helped me with my dream that you see today at Jotam. We've been struggling to get well known for years. I was already on the net, but I didn't know too much about it. Being older is so difficult because I didn't grow up with smartphones and technology. I realized if you are not groomed and educating yourself towards technology, you will be left behind. So I had to educate myself. In March 2017, I attended Google digital training. It opened up a new avenue for marketing my business. When people are looking for accommodation in Durban, and I asked them, where did you find me? Oh, we checked on Google. The proof is in the increase of my turnover, which is 40% higher. Make your own future. This is your life, and no one is responsible for this life but you.
Such an inspiring story, isn't it? As Tamendri says, it's truly never too late to learn a new skill. Today, you will engage with our experts teams who will unpack the power of digitization and how to leverage data insights to accelerate your recovery. I hope you find this useful. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Doron, for that. Every time I watch Tamendri's story, I'm always blown away because it's actually through real stories where you see real impact. And today is exactly about that. So now I'd like to invite Ms. Natalia Bayona, who is the Director of Innovation, Digital Transformation and Investment at UNWTO, to speak about the importance of digital skills in accelerating recovery in the tourism sector.
Hi, it's my pleasure to be here today with you to talk about sustainability and innovation as the new normal, and of course, how digital skills can help us to strengthen this tourism sector that have been really hurt thanks to the pandemic. So of course, first of all, I would like to encourage you to do this UNWTO Google First Tourism Acceleration Program which aim is to bring digital skills for a better understanding of our sector and our economy. So, at first, I would like to talk about what we have done inside the UNWTO and how do we work regarding innovation, digital transformation, and of course, investments as a way to recover tourism. First, I have to say that we have our aim or our main objective is to bring together the whole ecosystem in the different countries where we are. We work with more than 150 countries, and we have the pleasure to say that our job is to scale up the tourism innovation ecosystem and to bring together, of course, the startups, corporates, investors, the academia, the institutions, and of course, the whole national governments that are interested in bringing tourism into technology. So how do we do it and what do we have to offer? So of course, regarding innovation, we have 4 programs. So we have run our flagship program that is the Global Startup Competitions, where we develop different international and global calls to empower startups to grow through our UNWTO network. Second of all, we develop different type of challenges, specialized challenges. So for example, we developed the Healing Solutions Tourism Challenge in collaboration with WHO to bring back tourism. We have developed challenges on smart cities, on different digital skills that are needed for example, Latin America, sustainable challenge. And thanks to those challenges, of course, we have helped different governments and different institutions to solve different problems that are either on the regions or on a specific country. In third place, we have the Tourism Tech Adventures that are our innovation forums. So as you know, part of our mandate is to bring together public-private sectors together for build business opportunities. So we have done more than 15 only in 2.5 years. So you can see how active we are, bringing together ministers, startups pitch in front of governments, investors, corporates, and of course, thank to those startup competitions, challenges, and of course, these Tourism Tech Adventures Forum, we have created one of the biggest innovation networks specialized in tourism. So we work with more than 7,000 startups from all around the world. We work with more than 400 investors. We work with more than 100 universities. We work with more than 400 companies, corporates that are interested in tourism innovation. And of course, we work with more than 285 governments. So this is really important to us because, of course, thanks to this network, we have helped entrepreneurs to fund their ventures by $51 million during these 2 years. So to us, helping entrepreneurs to grow, bringing high-level impact investments, and of course, bringing the digitalization to the sector is a top priority if we want to build a better tourism recovery. When we are talking about digital transformation, I have to say that we have been working on the creation of the Tourism Online Academy that, of course, most of you have heard about it. We have developed the online academy in partnership with top universities in the world, where people can access to massive online open courses to gain new skills on tourism and begin a new journey focused on tourism. And of course, believe it or not, during the pandemic, we have increased by 400% the number of students that are interested on online education in tourism. And today, I have to say that during this digital transformation strategy, we are launching the first UNWTO and Google tourism acceleration program, which aim is to bring top skills, digital skills to governments, but of course to those that want to develop a high level career in tourism. So, and last but not least, of course, investments, that is one of my passions. So what we do there is, of course, we have a strong network of investors where we create and we open opportunities for them acting with governments. And of course, it's not only about venture capital investments, it's about foreign direct investment and traditional investments as well. And we work, of course, actively with multilaterals, financial corporations in order to cooperate and to strengthen the financial loans and investments for our tourism sector. So with that said, as you can see, we are really committed on developing a strong tourism innovation ecosystem. And of course, what we want to do is to still work with the best companies as Google in order to bring knowledge, skills, and technology for a better tourism sector. So this second part of my presentation will be focused on why do innovation and sustainability have to be our new normal. So as you know, the tourism sector has been facing a lot of challenges in the past. And what I really think is that thanks to COVID-19, those challenges are the same, but have been accelerated. Because before I start talking about the challenges, it's really important to talk about where we were and where we are regarding our sectors. So, as you knew from the past, we had a 10 years economy growth only in tourism, and of course, we had faced 1.5 billion tourists for the first time. So, of course, it was a historic input, and it was a historic moment for the tourism sector. Nonetheless, when you compare what happened to tourism in the past economic crisis, we can say that we had SARS. So, of course, in 2003, we had a decrease of tourism, but it was only in 1%. Then, in 2009, where the global economy faced an economic crisis, tourism sector decreased by 5%. But I have to say that today, because it was the first time the countries closed their borders by 100%, so the world was 100% closed, our projection is that tourism will decrease by 80% this year. So the challenge is very big. And of course, we need a lot of cooperation if we want to empower the tourism sector again. The good thing is that tourism have been one of the most resilient economic sectors in the past. And of course, it's one of the most important sectors regarding employment. So it's in our hands, of course, when the world have become 100% digital, to develop new skills for everyone and to align a new way to rebuild tourism the right way. As you know, to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, we have another challenge because there is needed $6.9 trillion only on infrastructure investments. So this is an opportunity because, of course, if we do it the right way, we can achieve it. The thing is that, of course, we are running out of time if we want a more environmental mindset inside the sector. So what are the challenges today? What were the challenges before? First of all, as I already said, to address over-tourism is mandatory. So as you know, when you compare those over tourism flows in the cities, it's increasing year by year. And of course, when you see the countries, it's always the same. So why digital skills are crucial here because, of course, if we create dashboards, if we create new technologies focused on artificial intelligence and to predict the way people are developing the different way we are measuring the capacity of those hotspots, of course, the better, because we will have a better tourism sector in terms of not only tourism experience, but also on the way citizens believe in the sector. So, for example, Barcelona has been increasing a lot the number of tourists. The thing is that, of course, the capacity, to give you an example, Barcelona the last year received 30 million tourists, but during the normal days, there's only 1.6 million citizens in Barcelona. So how do you work to have a more sustainable way and to avoid crowds and to avoid those strategies where massive tourism, of course, have not been responsible with the environment and with the culture and the community involvement. Another point about our fabulous oceans or beaches. I don't know if you know, but marine litter in the Mediterranean increases up to 40% during the peak season, that is summer. So believe it or not, only in 1 month and a half, we increase all the garbage. And when we came back from summer, all the beaches in the Mediterranean are really dirty. So of course, once again, it's not only about the Mediterranean, that's an example. But the same happened in the Caribbean. The same is happening in the different Pacific coasts. So we need really to have a better understanding and to use digitalization in order to develop new methodologies to see how our beaches or our tourism attractions are used, and of course how we can help them to be sustainable in the near future. And the last but not least, of course, emissions. So regarding or related to transport, CO2 emissions, we have projected that there will be an increase by more than 100% of the emissions from 2005 to 2030. So we really are running out of time, and we really need to act in the way we are traveling in order to be not only safe, but also sustainable and responsible. So with that said, of course, another part of my presentation is about how tourism can be the leader of this cross-cutting transformation. So as you know, tourism has the largest economic value chain, because tourism is not only about airlines, about hotels, and about tourism packages. Tourism is about food and beverage, it's about finance, it's about environment, it's about community involvement, it's about recreation, it's about accommodation, it's about air transport, about communications, it's about construction, and of course, about investment. So the more responsible we are, the more successful we are, the better, because of course we are giving different type of knowledge to another sectors that are connected with the tourism sector, and the benefits will be for all, of course. As I already said, before COVID-19, we had 1.5 billion tourists, 1 per 10 jobs worldwide are in tourism, 7% of the exports worldwide are thanks to tourism, and of course, this is very important, the most important sector regarding youth and women employment is tourism. So 54% of the people in the world are in the tourism sector are women. The thing is here, the challenge is, of course, to help them to grow and not only to be on the basis of the pyramid. Another thing that I have to tell you today about digitalization and why this is important to us is about the travel tech startup ecosystem. I don't know if you know, but only 5% of the unicorns are specialized in tourism. So There's a long path to grow. And of course, we can, the more we empower our entrepreneurship ecosystem, the better. And of course, in 2019, when we see the best funded travel tech startups, we can see that the most mature ecosystems are the ones that are funding more scale-ups or tech ventures. So when you see those financial transactions, you can see that everything is concentrated in the US, in China, in Germany, and that's all. So we need, of course, to empower digitalization as part, not only, as I already said, of education. It's about economic growth and about investments, of course. So startups, of course, increase the possibility to create a non-conventional solutions for everybody. But what we need as well is not only about creating different solutions, it's about making them grow. So from 2016 to 2025, I have to say something that is really important for me. Digitalization in aviation, travel, and tourism is expected to create up 305 billion of value. So imagine the profitability of our sector if we empower digital skills. On the other side, it's not only about profitability, but also about generating benefits. So the benefits evaluated on digitalization will be about $700 billion for customers and for that reduced environmental footprint that we want to work on. And of course, this is just the beginning, because we want and we need to develop a way forward to rebuild the tourism model. So of course, if you ask me, how do we have to do this tourism recovery and how we have to create a tourism model that is rethinked for good? So first of all, added value jobs, of course. Why? Because of course, youth share a lot of our tourism economy, and of course, in top destinations as Canada, the United States, the United Kingdom, Turkey, Germany, etc., as you can see on the graphic. But the thing is that those young minds are on the basis of the pyramid. How do we help them to still grow, to become the next future leaders and the next future managers? How do we do to have more women on tourism boards? As you know, and as you can see here on the slides, 23% of tourism ministers are women and 20% of government ministers are women. So we need more women empowerment on public positions. And regarding the employment quality, as I already said, believe it or not, the people that work in tourism, the majority are, of course, on the basis, I already said that, but regarding the skills, they have less than primary or lower than secondary education. So it's crucial what we are doing with Google today, because of course, the more people that we educate, the better and the most opportunities we create to help them to grow on their professional path. So first of all, I talked about added value jobs and skills. Second of all, how do we make this happen? So we created, of course, a UNWTO jobs factory. For what? Of course, to bring opportunities for those affected employees, for those corporates that need people empowered in tourism. And of course, thanks to technology, this platform will help with machine learning how to match pretty well my profile or the profile of the people that want to work in tourism with the necessities of the market. And so now, once again, to me and to the UNWTO, innovation, of course, is a priority and is a key driver for new skills, for better skills, for a better education, but of course, for better job creation. So here, I have some insights about digital and tech skills, because As I already said, the tourism sector have been growing so fast, but it doesn't mean that the talent and the human capital of the tourism sector have been upscaling on and having different digital skills. Most of the people that works in tourism are not specialized on digital, so we have a really strong gap on digitalization, and of course a mismatch, because I can have, of course, a lot of startups, a lot of corporates, and a mandate of being a lean government. But if my people doesn't know and is not specialized on digital, and of course on the most used technologies in tourism as big data, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, Internet of Things, blockchain, etc., of course, we are not doing anything. So post-COVID times, as you know, the world have become digital. So to unlearn, relearn, and still learn about different things are crucial. And the concept of lifelong learning is gaining a lot of importance. And of course, part of the government response must consider the relevance of the skills and developing a strong public policy on digital education and on digitalization as part of the core of the education, if we want, of course, an added value sector. So, as I already said, we created and we have to offer the Tourism Online Academy. We have more than 7,000 students. And of course, we want to still work on different courses to bring added value skills to everybody. And last but not least, about this recovery mandate on tourism, we have to talk about sustainable investments. So as I already said, green investments are crucial and are a reality. It's not a nice to have, it's a must have, because of course the corporates have realized that it's not only about investing in spectacular projects, it's how I pay back to the society and how I am doing things with the responsibility in order to develop a better future for everybody. So regarding venture capital, once again, there's a challenge because as you can see on the graphic, only US and China are investing a lot on green investments. The other countries, of course, are growing ahead, but I have to say that once again, the most mature countries are the ones that have been concentrating these investments, but we need to run the voice to different regions of the world in order to have this movement of green and sustainable investments on the different regions of the world. Another thing is that environmental, social, and governance investments are increasing a lot. So only during the past years, 55% of those type of investments have increased. So it's a reality, as I already said, that private sector, private investors are looking for amazing projects, but they are looking for clever, smart, inclusive, and of course, sustainable projects. So it's not only about being digital, it's about being digital responsible, and sustainable. So we have inside UNWTO Green Investments Program, where we are partnering with the IFC, the International Finance Corporation, and we are developing pilots of green finance for sustainable investments in different countries, and of course to recover the hotel sectors. So we help hotels to recover, again, if they have as part of their core strategy to develop green technologies, to develop green investments. So for example, rebuilding their infrastructure using renewable energies, using, of course, waste management, etc. So with that said, I would like to open the conversation in order to advance during this journey. And I would like to encourage all of you to be part of our innovation and sustainability ambassadors, to be part of the solution to create a more sustainable, innovative and inclusive tourism sector. To recover tourism is in our hands. And of course, we need more than ever to cooperate and to lead by example if we want a better economic sector that, as you know, is the most human economic sector. So please enjoy the journey, and I hope to see you soon talking and working for a more sustainable and digital tourism. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalia, for that insightful presentation. When Doron said that the tourism sector is the backbone of many economies around the world, it was not a lie. And I think that's especially true for the continent that is Africa. From your presentation, the key things that I really took out from that was that for us to realize digital transformation in the tourism sector, we really need to anchor and focus on building capacity. To your point, there's a skills gap that exists currently, so we need to focus a lot of energy around building capacity. Secondly, committing investment, because to say we should go on the roadmap to digital transformation, where's the money coming from? So investments will be very key to this. And lastly, partnerships, because nobody, even the UNWTO, as big as it is, nobody alone can see this journey through. So striking private-public partnerships are key to really realizing digital transformation in the tourism sector. So thank you so much for sharing that insightful presentation. So now, as I said earlier on, we will be playing a game because I believe we have tourism specialists in the room. If we're in person, I'd be saying in the room, but I will say in the virtual room. So I would like to invite all of you to engage me on a game that I would like to play with you, which is called Kahoot. So if you could take out your mobile device and type on your browser www.kahoot.it. So go onto your mobile phone and type kahoot.it. It should ask you for a PIN, and the PIN is 1206515. So please enter a diplomatic name. I don't want to see funny nicknames here because this is a very important event. So please go to kahoot.it. The game pin is 1206515. So you've got a couple of people joining in. You know, when I play this game normally in my events, I love to make it competitive. But this time around, it will be taking a form of a poll. So we won't be competing against each other, but please join in, come through with your competitive spirit, even if it won't be, there are no prizes to be won. So I see people coming in. I know that we've got over 100 people on the live stream, so I'll give you a couple more minutes to join. It's kahoot.it. The pin is 1206515. I believe in the room we've got South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. So I want you to put on your country hat and represent your country perfectly. Because everyone who gets the wrong answer will have to stand up and show us how their summer body is looking. Because the lockdown was very real for me. We've got 33 people on. I'll give you a couple more seconds. For those struggling, if you go to your browser and you type kahoot.it, it should ask for a PIN, and the PIN is 1206515. We've got 42 people on. We've got T-Bone. I like these nicknames. They're not, they're all good. Okay, 1 more minute, and then I will have to start. Again, for struggling, just take out your phone and type on your mobile browser, kahoot.it, and the game pin is 1206515. I see Ngo just popped in. All right, so I will start. Okay, CQ. Nigeria. Hey, how's that jollof rice, eh? I love it. I love jollof rice. Dolphin. All right. Okay, I see more people are trickling in. So the link to this game is www.kahoot.it. The game pin is 1206515. Okay, so we will start. I hope you are all ready. So I will ask you a couple of questions, and there will be multiple answers that you can choose from. So in 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? Where is the greatest demand for tourism and travel coming from right now? Is it international travel? So press the red button. Domestic travel, press the blue button, or none. Press the yellow button. So where is the greatest demand for tourism and travel coming from right now? Is it international travel? Red button. Domestic travel, blue button, or none, which is the yellow or orange button, depending how colorblind you are. I think I'm colorblind because I'm not sure if it's orange or yellow. So the question is, where is the greatest demand? Okay, there we go. So the correct answer it is indeed domestic travel, specifically, in our region. I know there are countries right now in Africa who have eased traveling restrictions. So it is indeed domestic travel. Next question. What is the top destination travelers are interested in right now? Is it beaches? Press the red button. Somewhere in nature, blue button. A small town, yellow button. Major city, a green button. So what is the top destination travelers are interested in right now? Beaches, red button. Somewhere in nature, a blue button. Small town, yellow button, or a major city. Where do people want to go? Actually, the correct answer is beaches, according to search trends. So people are interested in open spaces, given the fact that COVID-19 and social distancing. But somewhere in nature is definitely a close second. Personally, I would go for somewhere in nature because my summer body is just not ready for the beach. All this eating during lockdown, it did not do me any justice. Next question. How many jobs are in the tourism and travel industry globally? Is it 1 in 4, red button, 1 in 10, blue button, or 1 in 5, yellow button? So how many jobs are in the tourism and travel industry globally? 1 in 4, red button, 1 in 10, blue button, and 1 in 5, orange button. Now, Doron and Natalia mentioned this. So anyone who gets this wrong, you'll just have to stop playing. I'm joking. I'm joking. All right. Indeed, it is 1 in 10. Next question. Women make up what percentage of the tourism workforce? Is it around 50%? Red button, around 10%, blue button, or around 80%? Yellow button. So women make up what percentage of the tourism workforce? As we know, as we've learned today, that the tourism sector is actually one of the most inclusive sectors globally when it comes to gender diversity and inclusion. So is it around 50%, which is the red button, 10%, which is the blue button? Indeed, it's around 50% of the workforce. Next question. And this is the last question. The most important question is, are you excited for your country's inside sections? Now, there's only one right answer here, and that is yes, which is the red button. Are you excited for your country's inside sections? As I said, there's only one right answer, and I told you, and I hope we are all in agreement, because it's going to get very awkward if I see a couple of no's. If I see a no, I'll know it's a joke. So are you excited for your country's inside sections? 49 of you said yes. 7 of you were joking, and it's totally okay. I'm open to jokes. So thank you so much for playing this game with us. I really hope you enjoyed the first section of the UNWTO Google Tourism Acceleration Program. So as I said earlier on, the program is split into two. We've just finished part one. So now we'll be going to part two. And part two is really, as I said earlier on, where the meat lies. You know, I'm Xhosa, so in my tribe, we really love meat. So when we say where the meat lies, it means that where everyone is going. So we are all going to be going to our country-specific travel insights sections, which will be led by UNWTO and Google Insights experts. In these sessions, you'll get to have a chance to really engage with up-to-date data, travel data, that will really give you an insight in terms of what are travelers in the continent thinking right now, and how can you use this information as you craft marketing strategies or as you think about reopening your country's tourism market. So I really urge all of you to please join these sessions. As I said, you can find the link to your country session down below on the description box. So there's going to be a link for South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria. If you can't see that for any reason, please also look in your email, because we did set a reminder before the event started. So that is all from me. I'm sure you had a lovely, at least first hour, and I hope to see you on the other side. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I will see you on the other side. Bye.
My soul is lost today, and you're so far away. My soul is lost today, and you're so far away. you're so far away. My soul is lost today, and you're so